This guide provides a step-by-step walkthrough of using Outgoing Invoices of Flex Database's Project Management and Budgeting module. Outgoing invoices are automatically prepared by the system based on the invoice rules specified in the corresponding subsection of the module. This is among the final steps of working with the Project Management and Budgeting module. Automatic invoicing events is based on the accomplishment of milestones, the assignment and completion of a certain number of working hours, or some other formulas that can be created in the Invoice Rules section. In the Document drop-down list, select the relevant document. Only documents with effective date can be selected. To the right of the country's label, select the relevant country-specific budget. All countries can be selected to see the information regarding all the countries within a document. Click the New button to create a new invoicing rule. Select a category from a drop-down menu. The list of categories is defined in System Settings. The pop-up window will depend on the invoicing rule selected. Once you have selected the PPR rule, the invoices will be generated based on locked PPR data. Once the PPR is locked, the amount highlighted in cost of units performed for this period is invoiced. Invoicing based on calendar months can be created and triggered at any interval: every month, every other month, quarterly, biannually, etc. In the monthly payment rule, select the start and end months for this payment rule and specify the interval at which the invoice will be generated. Fixed amount is entered under Formula. If the milestone payment rule is selected, the form is updated automatically to include the Based On field that contains a list of all milestones specified within the project selected. Once the selected milestone actual date occurs, the appropriate invoice will be generated automatically. Formula can be entered in the Formula field to assist with the calculation. Data points from assumptions and budget units can be taken into calculation. Select this field. Once the rules are set, Invoices section can be opened. In the Document drop-down list, select the relevant document. Only documents with effective date can be selected. To the right of the country's label, select the relevant country-specific budget. You can view invoice currency information in the Currency indicator, according to the country selected in the drop-down list. If you want to see the data in the payment summary in another currency, you can convert it using Convert Currency. Consolidated currency is selected from a drop-down menu. You can enter the exchange rates for all currencies manually. Or, you can select a date, and the system automatically enters the exchange rates for all currencies on that date. Rate per consolidated currency is calculated through United States dollar. To reset to the default currency, you can click again on Convert Currency. In the open window, click the Default Currency button. The converted currency indicator disappears, and the currency is set to the default one. The main grid contains the list of invoice rules created within the budget selected. For each invoice rule, you can see the amount of money planned for invoicing and the amount of money that has already been invoiced. This data can be presented both by year and by month. If the time to create invoice has come but the invoice has not been created yet, the amount of money is written in green. Click within the relevant cell to view the details about the invoices that shall be created. For example, Milestone Rule Invoice for January 2024. Monthly Rule Invoice for January 2024. PPR Rule Invoice for January 2024. To create a new invoice, click the New button above the Invoices list grid. Select the invoices that you want to create by ticking the relevant checkboxes in the list of invoices that can be created. Select a sender and a recipient from drop-down menus. The options on the menu are created in System Settings. The date in the payment deadline date column is automatically calculated based on the following formula. Date of invoice plus the number of calendar days until the payment deadline. This number is defined under project settings. The payment deadline date column is empty if number of calendar days until the payment deadline is not set in project settings. To edit the existing invoice entry, click the edit icon to the left of the relevant invoice. You can edit the following information: invoice name, invoice date, sender, recipient. Invoice can be downloaded by clicking on the Download button under Actions column. The look of the invoice will be according to the template designed in System Settings. Once the invoice has already been created, the amount of money in the grid is written in blue. When the invoice has been paid, select the relevant checkbox in the Invoiced column. To be able to perform actions in outgoing invoices, be sure to assign adequate permissions in Global Permissions or Project-Specific Permissions of the Project Management and Budgeting module of System Settings. This guide covered the steps required to work with outgoing invoices of the Project Management and Budgeting module.